Hey, welcome back. It's OzoneB, and we are here in episode 2 of the World Building Challenge. It's not a challenge. World Building series. When we last left, I had made a bunch of improvements to the house, including this lovely fireplace that you see behind me here. I think it's looking pretty nice, but in spite of everything that I've done, and in spite of what I said initially, as I look around here, I realize it's still square. I didn't actually change that. I mean, I bumped that out just a little bit, but it's still square. So in the last episode, we talked about bumping that wall out a little bit and changing up the shape a little bit. I think I'm going to try to change the elevation of the floor as well, give it some, uh, the room is still flat, so give it some various elevations. I think I want to try to maybe partition off the bedroom over here as a separate room and try to do something neat with that. We'll probably have to completely redo the roof with all the shape changes that we're doing. But that's what I'm thinking for this episode as we get started with trying to make this house, which looks decent, into something that looks even better. All right, let's go. Whale. Two creepers in a row. I thought I was pretty safe up in here, but no. Seems like I need to be a lot more diligent about sleeping the night away. Man, oh man, this is frustrating as all get out. But I should know better, I suppose. All right, well, I did a little bit of work and made this big retaining wall to make a little flat area behind me for the expansion. I'm still not positive that this is the direction I want to go, but if we do bump this room out this far, the whole roof line's going to have to change. And while I'm okay with it, I'm still contemplating my changes, but this part is done at least. I like where this is going. It's still very planky, and doesn't have a roof, but I like where it's going. We've got a window over here, which might become a door like this in the future. And we got a window looking out over here. I like the idea of having this door over here and this little patio. I think that is a nice touch, and I'll have to figure out the roof, of course. And I think I might even want to step this down and have it lead down into this flatter area where I'm sure I'm going to be building other things in the future, like more farm. But for now, I think this is a good direction to be going in. Well, I've been thinking about what to do with this addition to the house. I don't really like the oak planks. That was never a long-term plan anyway. Um, and I don't really think there's any kind of gray based block that's going to work because of the retaining wall that I built behind me. I think I think the answer is going to be granite. And I might prefer brick, but I don't really have access to brick. See, unlike a lot of creators maybe, or at least with this series, I'm not gonna like go into creative and make a beautiful thing and then come over and copy it off of a schematic. I know how to do that. We can kind of do that, but part of the point of this is to make do with what I've got. And I don't have very much right now. It's still really early in the game. I got oak and birch and some cobblestone and some other blocks like that, and that's about it. So I don't even have a lot of granite, but I can get granite. I know I can go into the mines and go get it. So I think that's the plan. So let me see how that works out. Let me go get some, and we'll see how that works out. Well, I think that's looking pretty good. Got some dripstone in there as well as the polished granite and the regular granite. I've got some trapdoors on the sides here to make some shutters around the window. And, I think that combination works out pretty good. I've also made some planters over here, again, with trapdoors around them and some flowers that I picked up on top. Um, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. We need a roof on it. I'm thinking deep slate tiles probably, but, I went caving again to get all that granite and I found even more copper. I could probably do the whole roof out of copper right now by this point, and maybe I will. We'll just see. Well, I do like the deep slate roof on there. it's not properly attached to the rest of the house. I think the house needs a second story in order to really make this work and probably continue the deep slate onto the roof. I don't know, but I do like that deep slate tile roof, and I think this works out pretty well. Unfortunately, I do feel like this face is very flat, and I'm not really sure what to do about that. Well, I also added some lanterns around the place, so it looks a little more homey. And yeah, it's Christmas time. Woohoo! Presents! So I used some of the iron. I feel like we've got a decent amount of iron and made these lanterns. They sure look a lot better than the torches. I've still got torches up there, and since I'm thinking about putting on a second story and that's all going to come down anyway, I just left it. We still got to figure out what to do with this floor. Honestly, I'm not hating it. I thought I would, but it seems like it's okay with the current colors that we've got. And I do like my little patio. We're also going to have to make a path down to my itty bitty little farm. And honestly, I need to work on getting better facilities here. I've been working on this house, and it's looking pretty nice. I mean, good enough for a starter base, but I need some supplies. I need to farm. I need to get these animals together so I can start feeding them. And I just don't have very much. It's still really early on in the season, but one thing at a time. So while out gathering granite and deep slate for that expansion, guess what we found? Diamonds! It was a nice 5 vein. I almost mined it up with a stone axe too, or stone pickaxe. Oh, that would have been terrible. Very, very unfortunate. But no, I remembered in time and brought out the old iron pickaxe to collect those diamonds. A little later on, in another little mining area, we found some more, another 2 vein. So that's 7 diamonds altogether. So I've made some pretty good progress on the outside, I think, anyway. Let's take a quick tour. First, this patio, I didn't think planks out here would made a lot of sense, so we went with polished andesite everywhere, and continued it both over to the doorway and down to the lower area down here. I also lowered the entire doorway area down a little bit as well. So we got some steps, and that's all lowered down. I think that adds a little more variety and interest to this room. I still think I need to do something over here. And then lastly, I went and did a lot of work on the outside here where I was saying it's awfully flat. Now, I think it's a lot better now. First of all, I brought out this retaining wall by a full block, just put another block all the way around, added some stairs in there to give it a little texture variation, put a little flower pot right in front of the window over there, and yeah, and then added some tree leaves down along the bottom to give it some bushiness. I think it looks pretty darn good. I don't have vines yet to make any of it like mossy cobblestone and mossy stone and stuff. But I think this adds a lot to the depth problem that I was seeing where it was awfully flat, and I think it works a lot to solve these problems. I think the next order of business, now that we got that addition on and more or less finished up, is to get an enchanting table. And if you look over my shoulder back there, there's a ruined portal in those trees, kind of halfway between here and the town. Now I've already stopped there and picked up something out of the chest. I think that's where I got my Frostwalker boots, quite honestly. But there's going to be lava there, and there's going to be obsidian. I'm going to make myself a diamond pickaxe, and so we can go over there and collect those things, and then try to get an enchanting table. I'm still really short on books, so it's going to take a little while to get a full setup, but I think that's going to be our next adventure over there to collect some obsidian for an enchanting table. All right, let's get going. Well, here we are at this ruined portal nearby. And yes, I've been here. You can see the dirt behind me next to that gold block. I went to fill in the lava so I could mine up that gold block and then realized I only had a stone pickaxe and it wouldn't work anyway. So I managed to save myself some trouble there. But there's a lot of lava here, and honestly, this portal, yeah, it's quite ruined. I don't think it would work to try to build a portal here even if I wanted to. and most of it's laying flat. So I think we're just going to take everything down and return this area back to its plain state. I've forgotten just how slow it is to mine obsidian. This is so silly. It is so slow. Now, obviously, I don't have any enchantment yet, but wow, I have forgotten just how painfully slow this is. All right, well, we did it, or well, mostly did it. This took a lot more pickaxes, time, and generated a lot more netherrack than I actually anticipated. And I was going to fill it all in with some dirt, thinking it was only maybe 1 layer deep, and it's like at least 2. So I think we'll just leave it. It'll be a nice little crater left here. And but yeah, I got 13 pieces of obsidian and 8 buckets of lava out of it. So that should be enough to get us going, to get what we need, and get us that enchanting table. Well, this is interesting. I can see light down there. I believe that I've been to this ravine before from inside the cave. I feel like I remember coming up the water and that it didn't go all the way to the top. So yeah, the dripstone ravine where my cave is, it's all the way over here next to where the ruined portal used to be, and pretty darn close to the village. So it's big. It spans a lot of distance. All right, ready to get this going? Dun da da da! Here we are with an enchanter. I'm feeling really good about this. Let's put this down and get some glowy action on our armor and weapons and get ready to get out there and take names and kick booty. All right, got some enchanting done. It was kind of a boring thing. I didn't think you really cared to watch, but we got some glowy armor now and a glowy sword. We got basic protection 1 and sharpness 1 on our things. And quite frankly, ran out of lapis. I didn't have that much to begin with. But I'm glad we got a little bit going, and it looks like it's time to head back to the mines and try to get more lapis so we can do some more enchanting. In the next episode, though, I think we need to focus on this area down here. We need a barn and a bigger garden, trying to get some infrastructure set up, and I think this little area over here is going to be the perfect place to do it. So we'll work on that for next time. For today, I think we're looking good, and we'll see you all again in the next episode. Take care.